Hello traders, and welcome to the market opening preview December 3rd on a Wednesday 2014. Traders, great to be with you. This is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Traders, I'm coming to you live from Pattaya, Thailand, where we have, overcast skies today. Looks like we might be getting some rain, so I'll be in the office today. Won't be down at the gazebo having lunch and a cold one. Alright traders, let's get started. If you will, let me introduce myself to you. My name is William Gilda, and I'm your moderator through the Market Opening Preview Series every single trading day before the London Open. Traders, I started trading in the year of 2006, and in 2008 I retired from a wonderful 27-year career in the Public Safety Department out of the great state of Florida. Traders, I came on a 3-month holiday to celebrate my 27-year career and came to Thailand. Well, traders, it's today, and I'm still here. I think I'm still on vacation. Now, traders, I work harder now than I did when I was working. I am in the markets every single trading day, about close to 10 hours a day. I'm watching charts, listening, and looking for opportunities to enter into some trades and make some profit. All right, let's get over to the legal stuff. This is our risk disclaimer. Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential of risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex market. Traders, most of all, please do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Traders, always remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, moving right along, moving quick today, huh? Here we go. Let's hit the news and commentary. What a move yesterday. Some wild moves yesterday. About an hour and 15 minutes ago, we had news come out of Australia. The Aussie had high impact news. GDP quarter on quarter came out at 0.3%. They were expecting 0.7%. That caused about a 40 to 70 pip move, depending on what currency pair you are looking at, and you will see some of them as we go through our 6 currency pairs. Let's talk about what's coming up later on today. In the London session, we have services PMI out of the pound, and we have, that's the only high impact, but there's a lot of medium impact, and I just want to, the euro has retail sales, and I know it's only medium impact, but that can jolt the markets a little bit. Coming down into the U.S. session, we have ADP, non-farm employment change, and later on we have BOC rate statement out of Canada, and then also at that time we will have the overnight rate, and most of all we'll have out of the U.S. ISM non-manufacturing PMI, which most likely will move the markets. It always has in the past. All right, yes, it looks like it's NFP week, so we'll have non-farm payrolls on Friday. Just a waste of a good trading day. Just my opinion, traders. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at some 60-minute charts. These are 60-minute Forex charts. We have 6 currency pairs to go over, so let's get started. Traders, as usual, we're going to start off with the euro-dollar. You can see that the euro has hit support, and remember, these are hourly candles. So basically, in the inactive zone for the last 7 hours, you can see that we have been inching our way back up. You know, we'd love to see this come back up to this 1.2400 area. Would be really nice, and we can take this back down again. I don't know how far this is going to come up. The problem is the daily chart. The daily chart's at support, and we just got to keep an eye at it. But we just want this pullback, and we'll see if it takes it. Maybe to break the support, and we'll just look for the retest and take it from the 1.2377 area and just continue the down move. We're going to have to see how London reacts to that Aussie news once the London Open occurs. We'll see how it reacts to that when that session opens. I wouldn't do anything with this pair until the London Open, though, for sure. All right, let's take a look at the pound. The pound is definitely at resistance on the daily chart. It's at support, and it's also at support on this 1-hour chart, which brings some concern that it's been sideways for the last looks like almost 12 hours to me. So we'll have to see how this reacts. This just might not do anything. Had a nice drop yesterday, moved some good pips, but we really want this to come back up to that 618 and give us our entry to the downside. The only bad thing is we know, as in the past, the pound dollar does not like to give pullbacks. So again, this might just break support and just continue down to the next level. And then you're just going to have to decide what you're going to do. Again, I would wait for the London Open and see how they react to the Aussie news that came out earlier today in the Asian session. All right, let's take a look at the Aussie dollar. Look at that big red candle. Yes, that was the news data. And you can see it definitely caused some reaction. So, how do you trade this? Well, the only way you're going to be able to trade this is two ways. It's either going to continue down or it's going to give us a pullback and give us an entry. There was nothing I can do with this. There was no fib. There was nothing to do. The only thing you can do is you can go to the 4-hour chart and take a look at the 4-hour chart and see if you can find an entry on a 4-hour chart. The other thing, traders, you can do is go to the 4-hour chart, put your resistance lines and support lines in there, and then bring them over to your 1-hour chart and use that as a way to get in. We like to get in at 84.40. That's really the area that we want this to pull back to. That's a pretty big pullback for this Aussie dollar, as it's down at 8,400. So that's almost a 45 pip pullback. I don't know if we're going to get that. We might, but it doesn't look like it at the current candle. If you take a look at that, we're in the middle of a doji here, and this candle is going to end in about 12 minutes. So that's where we are with the Aussie dollar. Here's the Euro Aussie. As we expected, there's that big blue candle from the data that came out today in Asia from the Australia. So bad data, big blue candle. Here we are back up at resistance. Again, we need the pullback. We've got to get the pullback. We're back in this range again. And if you look left at the chart, look at all of those hours that we stayed in that range. So we're back in this nasty range again, and there's nothing we can do. So it's breakout time. We're going to have to see where this is going to break out, either to the downside or to the upside. Now, if it goes to the downside, that's a counter trend trade, and I would look at that as a pullback and not as an entry. If it breaks to the upside, I'd like to see it pull back and retest. That would then be support, and we could take that to the upside. But I'm definitely bullish on the Euro Aussie. There's no question about that. I have the stop loss pretty far away, as you can see. You don't have to put your stop that far away. That's. I brought it back to the next support area, and that's where I put the stop. But if you get into an entry, you can move that up, probably a couple of levels. But where it's at now is safe to give it room to work. But we're not looking at taking an entry at this point, at this time of day. Anyhow, in the Asia session, we are waiting for the London Open. No matter what, on all the pairs, we're waiting for the London Open. I don't see a reason to jump into these pairs before London opens. We have to see how they're going to react to that data that came out so far today. All right, let's take a look at the Euro Yen. Euro Yen didn't do much. There wasn't a lot I could do either, surprisingly enough. The biggest thing with the Euro Yen is we're at resistance, and if you take a look at the daily chart, it is at resistance, it is sideways, and it is going absolutely berserk. So it hasn't popped lately, but it's trying. And since I took the photograph of the slide, it's possibly that it already has made a higher high in the last 2 hours. So anything is possible. However, I'm looking for the long trade, and we're at the sweet spot. This is an area where you can basically enter this trade if you feel comfortable and take this up. And say you're looking at 148.20, and it's not a bad trade. It's a 40 pip trade if you got in right now. The stop, I think, is legitimate. I think the stop needs to be where it needs to be. It needs to be below that trend line, and it's got to give it room to breathe. You notice that wick below that trend line? Yeah, we need it to be below that, and that's why I put that stop where it is. I wasn't really able to fib anything. There was really nothing to fib. So we'll see how this works. But, like I said, probably out of any pair, if we were going to take a trade, this is surely one that would be a nice trade to take, because we are far enough away from resistance where you can get break even before the London Open. All right, let's take a look at our last pair of the day, and that is, of course, our New Zealand dollar. And here you can see yesterday I do a forecast every day, newsletter forecast that I send out every day. And surprisingly enough, I said, watch this trade. It was really in a bad spot. The chart looked ugly. And what happened? This pair worked beautifully. Absolutely dumped like a rock. It was, if you look left of the chart, you can see where it was hovering around that 200 exponential moving average for hours and hours and hours. And I wasn't comfortable in telling traders in which direction to go. I thought it could have went in either direction. Well, what happened was it closed below the 200, and there you went. Just came tumbling down and made some really nice pips. And that was late in New York. So you would have had to been up for the New York afternoon session, which, of course, unfortunately for me, that's like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. So I was not at my computer at that time. But the trade on the New Zealand dollar trade plan worked out absolutely great. Today we're looking for the pullback. And I do think we can get back up to the 618 at the 78.20 area. I don't think there'll be any problem getting that pullback. I think it's very obtainable without any question. And we can then sell this. But we definitely need to pull back. We don't want to take it here. It's at support. Look left of the chart. You can see that doji candle with that big wick right there. That's a sign of danger. So we need to definitely get some kind of a pullback, and we will take this short. But looking good, looking good. I was absolutely. I even wrote it in my newsletter today that I was absolutely shocked when I put my charts on today and saw how the New Zealand dollar acted yesterday. All right, traders, that concludes our 6 currency pair review. And I'd like to, on behalf of myself, William Gilday, and of course our great friends at FXCL Excellence in Trading, I'd like to thank you for joining me today for the market opening preview every single day before the London Open. Traders, I wish you a great day, and remember to trade smart and not hard. And we'll catch you tomorrow before the London Open. Take care, traders. Have a good one. Bye-bye.